So after the 3-year program, now what? Now you're making money as a nurse. Why do you want to be a doctor?
I wasn't making money yet because I applied for medical school in my final year of nursing.
Why?
There was no break in between.
So that means if you really have plans to work in the US permanently in the future as a nurse, do not do your nursing in the UK. Do you not?
No, don't. Go straight there.
I never knew that.
You said it before.
Hey, stop that. Sorry for the interruption, guys, but let me give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video. So today's video is proudly sponsored by TransferGo. So TransferGo is a money transfer app which you can use to send money from the UK and other EU countries to countries like Ghana and Nigeria. And when you send the money, the person can take the money back in Ghana or Nigeria, in Ghana city or in Naira or even in US dollar. Okay, TransferGo is rated the best financial app on trustpilot.com, and they're currently being used by over 4 million people. Over 4 million people are currently using TransferGo. When you send money to friends and family back in Ghana or Nigeria using TransferGo, you can actually track the transfer to see whether the person has, gotten the money or whatever in the app. There are no hidden charges, so the person gets the exact amounts that you're sending. When you send the money, in at most 30 minutes, the person gets the money, okay? The person gets just the amounts that you sent. I personally love TransferGo, and I would always recommend TransferGo to anybody that wants to transfer money from the UK or any of the EU countries to friends and family back in Ghana or Nigeria. I'll leave a link in the description so you can just use a link and download the app, whether you use Android, whether you use an iOS, and then make your first transfer now. Trust me, you will like it. They are very secured, they are genuine, they are legit, and they are very, very convenient, okay? So thank you so much, TransferGo, for sponsoring today's video. So if you've ever wondered how, maybe you are a nurse, okay, and then you want to become a doctor in the UK, and you've ever wondered what the process is like, you've ever wondered if it's actually even possible for a nurse to switch to become a doctor, I'm here to tell you it's possible. And today we have a beautiful lady here who's actually on her journey to become a doctor. She's a nurse and she's on her journey to become a doctor. So she's going to tell us what the process is like and everything it entails, so that if you're interested, you can pick a few things from it. So welcome back to my channel, Nurse Belinda.
Thank you very much.
So for those who are seeing Nurse Belinda for the first time, I already have a video with her concerning her au pair journey. So Nurse Belinda is originally from South Africa, and then she moved to the UK a couple of years ago to work as an au pair, where she would help, a host family with their children, blah, blah, blah. And then she decided to go into nursing. She did nursing. She started working as a nurse. And now she's on her journey to become a medical doctor in the UK. So she's already shared a story about her au pair journey. I'll leave a link of that video here so you can head over and then watch. Okay. And then she also has a YouTube channel where she talks about all these things into detail. So I'll leave a screenshot of her channel here and a link in the description so you can head over and then, ask her all your questions. She's on Instagram as well, so I'll leave a screenshot of her Instagram here as well. So welcome, Nurse Belinda. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So we've already spoken about your au pair journey in another video, so I'm not going to go so much into it. But you came in the UK in 2015 to work as an au pair. Mm-hmm. And then you left your host family and then to pursue an access in nursing course. So tell us, what made you want to be a nurse in the first place? And for those who don't know what an access to nursing courses, what is it? Yeah.
So basically, firstly, what made me to do nursing? Wow. I wouldn't say it was my dream, because it wasn't. I initially wanted to do teaching, but realistically, I had to look at opportunities. Like, I knew that if I go into nursing, if I want to go anywhere, literally in the country or in the world, nursing job will always be available. So I got into nursing with that. An access course basically in the UK is for people who either have been out of education for some time, or they don't hold A levels. Like for me, I don't have any A levels because I didn't attend high school in the UK. I attended high school back in South Africa. So they needed me to do an access course to nursing in order to bridge that course.
So how long was the access course and how much was it?
So basically for me, I did mine part-time. So I did mine for 2 years. Initially, you can do it for a 1-year period, but I did mine 2 years. So only 2 days a week in the evenings. And then I was able to work full-time while doing that. So for the course was like 3,000 something for UK and European students, but at that point in time I was classified as a international student. So basically the course was like 4,000 something for me at that point in time.
Was it for the entire course or for each year?
Yes. No, for the entire course. So I could pay that gradually, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't everything in a bulk. I could work and pay in installments.
And what were you paying it yourself?
Yes.
What
Yes.
wow. What work were you doing to support you to pay for it?
I was working as a senior care assistant in a care home.
You're a strong woman, you know? Wow.
It's hard.
And then you finished the access course and then you
Yeah.
did like a BSc in nursing.
Yes. So I finished the access course, initially applied for mental health nursing, got accepted for mental health nursing. But second year, I switched to adult nursing. Okay.
Why did you switch?
Because my husband's a nurse as well. So he says, Belinda, you need to switch from mental health to adult, because in the USA, they don't recognize mental health nursing. So I switched to adult nursing at that point in time, because adult is like general nursing, isn't it?
Why do you consider what the US thinks when you're in the UK? Do you have plans of traveling to the
I
US?
have plans. I am actually leaving, to be honest with you. I am leaving. I haven't announced it on my channel yet, but I am leaving to go to the US. My husband's already gone. He left in March. That's why I deferred my application to medical school for next year rather than starting this year, September.
We will miss you. Oh. Everybody's leaving the UK yet.
I know. There's
Wow. So you did the adult nursing for how many years?
So I did that for 3 years. So, well, 2 years. First year mental health nursing, then adult nursing for 2 years. And then after the 3 years, I qualified as a nurse.
Okay. And were you paying your fees yourself the 3-year period?
Yes, I was paying as an international student at that point in time as well.
So
15,500 and something per year.
And you were paying for it yourself?
Yeah, I was paying for it alongside with my partner. You know, we were paying.
Were you married at the time when you were?
No, I only got married this year.
So you were only dating at the time?
Yes.
That means he's quite supportive. God bless him.
Yes, yes, he is. Yeah.
I think he's Nigerian, right?
Yes, he is.
Unless
Yes.
he went to Nigeria. Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless him. West African men are good, though. Like, yeah, West African man, comment below. Wow. Okay. So he supported you. You did. You paid this 15,000 for 3 good years. That's about 5,000, excluding your upkeep. Excluding, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was working throughout my nursing so I can keep myself going, especially during the placement periods where I couldn't work as much. And, you know, with placements, they would send you far away. So I wasn't really up for traveling. So wherever they send me for placement, I would just stay there and find accommodation there. So I had to keep working so I could pay for that placement accommodation.
Wow. And your partner, who was your boyfriend at the time, was he already like a qualified nurse?
Yes, my partner is a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
So, but unfortunately, due to obviously the tier 2 visa, they couldn't sponsor him for a practitioner course. They could only sponsor him for the band 5, especially because he came from Nigeria as a nurse already to come and work here.
Okay. So after the 3-year program, now what? Now you're making money as a nurse. Why do you want to be a doctor?
I wasn't making money yet because I applied for medical school in my final year of nursing.
Why?
There was no break in between.
And were you not tired of paying so much going to school? So why?
So basically, I started writing for my GAMSAT, which is one of the medical entry exams here in the UK in my final year of nursing. So at that point in time, I took the GAMSAT, but I did an access course to medicine. So after I finished my nursing, I went down to Brighton to go and do my access course to medicine. So I completed it now in June. And then I got accepted for graduate entry medicine. So actually this access course to medicine is of no use. So I just did it for nothing.
So if you get the admission for the graduate entry to medicine, how many years will you do the medical course?
That's 4 years. 4 years.
And after that, you become a doctor in the UK.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So if you are a nurse, do you automatically qualify to do the graduate entry to medicine?
It depends on your GCSEs. So you have to have at least a level 6 in the UK for both mathematics and English. If you have A levels, which once again I didn't have, that's why I went to do the access course to medicine. You have to pass with distinctions, because if you don't pass the course with distinctions, you will still not get accepted into medical school. So basically, there's some people who did the access course to medicine with me, and they didn't get any space to medical school because they didn't pass with distinctions.
Wow.
You also have to have a 2-1 or a 2-2 in your undergraduate degree. So
Okay.
just because you're a nurse doesn't necessarily mean you can go straight in. You have to have at least a 2-1, because there's only 2 universities that accept 2-2s in straight into medicine for that. Yeah.
For those who don't know what a 2-1 is, that's like a second class upper, and then the 2-2 is like a second class lower. So, okay, so let's say me, Nanelle, I'm a nurse at the moment, and I want to be a doctor in the UK. Where do I start from? What do I do?
So firstly, you get your degree, find out how much you got for your degree. Secondly, you need to check your GCSEs, English and mathematics, because you need to have English and mathematics at least at a level 6.
Okay, so for those who did not do GCSE, do they accept WASSCE as well?
Yes, I did. I didn't do any GCSEs because they took my South African high school certificate.
Okay,
however,
so WASSCE is accepted. Okay.
However, with me, I had to go and do GCSE English, because my GCSE, when they did the conversion to the UK, was only at a level 5 rather than a 6.
Okay.
So while I was doing the access course to medicine, I did my GCSE English alongside it together.
Wow. Wow. So I can't enter the graduate entry medicine with a diploma if I'm a nurse. I need a degree.
No, you have to have a degree. Yeah.
So you need a degree, and then you need your GCSEs or your WASSCEs or your A levels. You said
Yes. Yeah.
or your
Yeah.
A levels, and then you should have like a strong mathematics and English mark, and then for the degree as well, you should have got at least a 2-1. That's a second class upper, but there's some 2 universities that accept a second class lower.
Yeah.
So let's say I have that. What next? Then I apply for graduate.
No, you can't apply yet. You have to take the medical entry exams. So in the UK, we have 3. We have the UCAT, the BMAT, and the GAMSAT. So the BMAT and the UCAT is mainly tailored for undergraduate medicine, which is the 5-year course. And then the GAMSAT is for graduates, so 4 years. So you have to pass these exams, because if you don't pass them, you can't go into medical school.
So you have to take any one of them.
Any one of them. So I took 2 of them. I took the GAMSAT and I took the BMAT. I didn't take the UCAT.
You just like to study, you just like to study. Yeah.
No, I don't like to study. I'm thinking about long term. In 10 years, where will I be? Yeah, that's my goal. Wow. So for me to actually go this route through medicine was because at that time my partner was waiting for his green card.
To go to
and because yes, in the US, and because Donald Trump put a travel ban on Nigerians, he was waiting for 5 years, because he should have left a long time. So I was saying to him, listen, I don't have time to be waiting 5 years. We need to start planning our life here in the UK. Like, what are we going to do if this does not work out? So our plan was to go into medical school together. We're going to study medicine together.
So you actually got a husband who thinks like you as well.
My husband is the reason I'm like this.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So my husband says to me, Belle, you go first. So, and then I will follow 1 year later after you. So that way one is working while one is studying, so we can balance it out together. So I said, that's fine. So that's why I went and started my journey. So when my husband got his green card and he said to me, Belinda, are you going to leave the course? I was like, leave the course. I am like, do you know how hard it was to get into this course? Now you're telling me I must leave the course.
So you took the
GAMSAT.
You took the GAMSAT. Sorry. So the GAMSAT, is it like a multiple choice exam? Is it like an OSCE? Like, what is it?
So the GAMSAT is 5.5 hours long. So basically, section 1 is multiple choice. Then section 2 consists of 2 essays. So you have to write 2 essays, half an hour. And then section 3 as well is multiple choice as well. So it's really like the first section, and then you get a break between section 2 and section 3, but you can't really open any books. You just, because you're monitored. So you're just taking a break, you know, go to the bathroom, drink a bit, and then you resume again. So it's 5.5, almost like, I wouldn't say like the NCLEX, because I think the NCLEX is shorter, isn't it? Yeah. The NCLEX is shorter because my husband, he wrote it and it was shorter. But yeah, the GAMSAT is 5.5 hours long. I think it's the second longest medical exam in the world. The first one is the MCAT, the one in the US. That one is 7.5 hours long.
Hey, so you wrote the GAMSAT. So is it difficult?
Yes, but I found it easy because I found that I could study for it. In my opinion, I felt like the UCAT it's a 2-hour medical exam, but it's too quick. It's not something you can study. The only thing you can do is practice. So I took out 6 months during my last final year of nursing. I started studying for the GAMSAT. 6 months I took. So every day, you know, at least 1 hour of studying until I was ready to take the exam. It's hard.
And then you took it, and then you passed, and then you started medical school.
I know, I did the access course to medicine. So I'm
So
supposed
you were
to
not supposed to do the access course, right? So let's say for me, if I get all the other things like the GCSEs and the degree, blah blah blah, then I take the GAMSAT.
Yeah.
So when I take the GAMSAT, then I can apply to the schools.
Yes, you can apply directly. Now, for me, at that point in time, although I knew my score already, I wasn't too sure whether I would qualify for graduate entry medicine, because graduate entry medicine is very competitive in the UK and there's not many spaces. So I thought, okay, if I'm not going to get in with graduate entry medicine, let me go and do the access course. So at least I will get in as undergraduate. But next year, September, I'm getting in come May what. So that's what I said. So that's why I did the access course to medicine. But I didn't actually have to do it because I got in with my GAMSAT score.
How long was it, the access course to medicine?
It's the same, like it started in September, finished in June. So I started as soon as I finished my nursing degree last year in September, my last placement, I went and started the access course to medicine and I finished in June.
So how many months?
9.
9 months. Okay. So if you want to start afresh, you can just do the access course to medicine and then apply to a medical school.
Yeah.
Or you take the GAMSAT and apply for graduate entry medicine.
Yeah.
And hopefully you get picked. Okay. So if you take the GAMSAT route, that means you're doing 4 years in medical school as a nurse.
If you're taking the GAMSAT, the BMAT, or the UCAT, because some universities allow for the BMAT as graduate entry, and also the UCAT. Some universities allow the UCAT. So it depends on what university and the entry requirements.
So if you take any of the 3, you're likely to do how many years in school?
Well, the UCAT and the BMAT, they are for the 5 years. Okay. And the GAMSAT is for the 4 years. But some universities for graduate entry medicine require you to sit the UCAT.
Okay. So for what university did you apply to? Like, did you get?
I applied to Nottingham, Swansea, St. George's. What is the other one I applied to? Gosh, I can't remember the other one. So the first university that actually invited me for an interview was Nottingham University. And at that time, I think it was like February this year. And then afterwards, literally, they gave me my answer to say that I've been accepted for graduate entry medicine. And I'm still doing the access course at that point in time. So my husband's like, why are you still there? Like, you should be dropping out. Like, why are you? I was like, but I paid for it. So I have to finish it.
How much was it? The access course to medicine, how much was it?
3,995. This time around, I paid the same as the UK because I got my citizenship. So I could, no longer international student. Yeah.
So let's say you were going to stay in the UK. That means you were going to do how many years in Nottingham University?
4.
And after that, I'm a medical. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So now that you're going to the US, what happens?
So now that happens is when I found out, I deferred my space to next year, September. Because at this point in time, I'm currently working for my US application because I'm going to the US as a student. So basically at this point in time,
clicks and go as a nurse instead.
Because the UK qualification is not recognized in the US.
Which UK qualification? Your nursing
Your
qualification?
nursing UK qualification.
It is.
Because when I processed my CGNF application, they said because I did adult nursing, gynae is missing.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's certain criteria you need to fill out in order to be able to go. So they didn't take my nursing degree qualification.
Oh, so those who did their nursing school in the UK, they do not qualify to use their nursing qualification to work in the US.
No.
Okay, because I know people from my country, like so many of my friends that are now like on their journey to go to the US, but they are using their nursing qualification from back home.
Yes.
That's why they were accepted.
Yeah. Yes, it's the same like my husband. My husband did a degree and a master's here in the UK, but he used his nursing diploma from Nigeria. They accepted that one, but they didn't recognize his nursing degree from here. So imagine? Then I know. I was like, I picked the wrong country. I should have gone to the US to start off with. What am I doing here? So basically, yeah, that's what happened. So they said to me, you did adult nursing because, you know, in the US, it's all general, isn't it? General nursing. But here it's already specialized adult nursing, mental health, you know. So when they looked at my transcript, they said, well, you don't have gynae. Where's your gynae? That's missing. And pediatrics, that's missing as well. So they said, you have to do modules. The UK used to do a top-up module, but they stopped that. They used to do it in the College of London, but they've stopped that. I think because they realize a lot of nurses are actually leaving the UK to go there. So basically, I'm going as a student. So I've already been accepted to the University of Indiana because that's where my husband is located. And
but you're going to go to school again.
This life is not fair. I know. Yes, I'm going to school again for another 3 years.
I pray that God gives you your heart desires, like what you want to become, because you've worked too hard for it. Like you've worked so hard. You've worked hard to pay your own fees as a young girl. When other girls were buying other London girls were buying designer bags and bone straight hair, you were working your ass off to pay your tuition, and God bless you. You got a good partner who was supporting you, and now you are moving to your dream country, and you have to go as a student and may God just grant you all your heart desires. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Finally, when you get there, I'll be at that time. I'll be in America, so I'll interview you in person. I'll interview you in person. So, what are you going to do in America, like University of Indiana? What are you going to do?
So I have to do a prerequisite course. So I sent them my transcript, my access course to nursing, as well as my nursing degree for them to convert it. And they send me back the modules that are missing, basically. So basically, it's a prerequisite course to nursing. And then from there onwards, I'm going to do my ABSN. So that's my Accelerated Bachelor of Science of Nursing, which is another 12 months. So in total, they said the course is going to be running over 2.5 to 3 years. So at this point in time,
that's like starting like nursing afresh.
I know, I was so angry.
But with your knowledge, I'm sure it'll be very easy for you. Because somebody who was on the way to become a doctor. I mean, like, can you imagine?
I know.
You already having knowledge in nursing, you can actually work as well and then get some money. And we all know that the US, even some of the mediocre jobs, like they pay quite well. Yes. And even with your qualification now, you can work as a CNA or whatever. So you can, wow. So that means if you really have plans to work in the US permanently in the future as a nurse, do not do your nursing in the UK. Do not.
No, don't. Go straight there.
I never knew that.
Go straight there.
Knew that.
Wow. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. What a waste of money, isn't it?
Wow. Wow. So if you had finished a medical school, would they have been recognized there?
No. That is the funny thing as well. Because I was contemplating, I was saying to my husband, should I just finish my medicine and then come over? But no. The US prefer their own doctors. It is very hard to become a doctor in the US as an international doctor. There's one Nigerian doctor. He's actually an anesthesiologist in Nigeria, but he went to nursing school in the US because they didn't recognize it because if you go there, you need to have somebody who's going to sponsor you and get a residency. And it's hard to get residency as an international doctor. They prefer their own people. That's US. So there was no time. There's no point in me even going to do the 4 years, because even by the time I qualify and become Dr. Belinda, they're not going to recognize that. So I'm going to anyway have to do my nursing again. So I might as well go through nursing. But my plan in the future is to go to medical school, hopefully in the US, by the grace of God. I've already started buying my MCAT exam
Stop
books.
talking to me. Stop talking to me.
Yeah. So I have to go through this route to get to that route, to the end of the tunnel.
Thank God your husband is not tired of you, because I'm getting tired for you. Wow. Wow. So can you briefly just summarize the whole process for nurses in the UK that want to become doctors in the UK? Can you briefly just share your last words, the process, briefly, and then your advice for those that want to do it? Is it worth it? Because what nurses earn and what the NHS doctors earn is not really much, especially the difference is not much, especially for me that is in a care home, and I can make, if I do overtime, I can make 22 an hour or 23 an hour. Or if I do strictly agency, I can be making a regular 25 or even 30 an hour. Is it worth it to go to school, write all these exams, and then practice as a doctor in the UK? Is it worth it?
So I think it depends on your end goal. I think if your end goal is financial stability, then I would say it's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? Because doctors don't earn much, and it's going to take you 15 to I don't know how many years to become a consultant. And even by the time you become a consultant, you're also not looking at that money as it being the top, because even nurses in the US are earning more than consultants here in the UK, So if it's financial stability, then I would definitely say it's not worth it. Yes, doctors do get a tiny bit more than nurses along the way. But like you said, if you're doing agency nurses, I mean, I'm doing agency nurse A&E, and I'm not taking less than £40 an hour when I do a shift. So I'm getting more than a doctor, even a consultant is getting. Do you know what I mean? But if your end goal is to just become a doctor because that's what you want to do, then you can go ahead and do that, So like I said, the processing is different. It depends. Firstly, you'll have to have a degree, 2-1 or 2-2. If you don't have A levels, you need to do an access course to medicine or go ahead and do A levels. If you already have A levels and good GCSEs of level 6, mathematics and English above, then you can go ahead.
Or WASSCE. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Any sort of high school qualification from any country that you can convert, and it will give you 6 and above for maths and English, then that's all good. Then you can go ahead and apply for graduate entry medicine, or you can apply for undergraduate. Graduate entry medicine is more competitive than undergraduate, and undergraduate medicine, there is more amount of spaces for intake for students than graduate entry medicine, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. And the undergraduate medicine is 7 years, yeah?
Undergraduate, 5.
Undergraduate medicine course is 5 years?
Yes, 5 years. But normal studying in the UK for medicine is 5 years. If you already hold a degree, it's 4 years.
Oh. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I feel like I know you now, like I know you because of this stuff. Wow. When you finally get to the US and then you live there for a while, I would love to have you back on the channel. And then maybe, which states are you moving to?
So because my husband is placed in Indiana, I'm going to move to Indiana. But our plan at this point, we are undecided between Texas and Indiana, where we're going to live long term.
Wow. It's a beautiful journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pray you get children who are ambitious like yourself. And don't
I hope so. I hope so.
Wow. Wow. I enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much, Nurse Belinda. So guys, if you have any questions for Belinda, head over to her channel and then, or her Instagram and pop in your question. I'm sure she'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.
Wow.